1. We live, baby.
What's up?
We're not
We're
really live.
back.
What up,
Nothing's
guys?
changed except for now I'm a redhead. So it's
She's
two
got red
redheads
hair.
and Justin.
We changed the name of the podcast to the Abs Fitness Experience.
That's
Welcome
right.
back, guys. We are continuing on with the podcast, and if you listen, that's amazing. If not, maybe you should listen.
Yeah.
So
fun. Good to be back.
it's the New Year's, so I think, we should definitely start off with fitness-related stuff to the new year. Maybe little tips and tricks, maybe things that we've learned about ourselves within our own fitness journeys over the past year that could be useful to the viewers or listeners. Justin, why don't you start us off?
So this year we sat down with Abby's family, and we all wrote out goals, which was really cool. So the way that I structured mine was I wrote out a goal for each month. So I had 12 different goals, and then I had like a category for all my different goals. So my categories were finance, business, relationship. I think I had like a fitness goal, and then one other one. But I had subcategories too. So I had like 12 months and then 5 categories in each one.
Nice.
So it was a lot of goals right now, but it was cool because it's structured and I have a deadline on them, which is great. So the deadline gives me like purpose to finish it within that first month or the month that I have the goal written out for. So I kind of just think it will keep me on track. And I think if you guys are struggling with goals, it'd be a good way for you guys to write them out.
So, we all did them a little bit differently in the sense of organizational patterns within the categories when we were writing them down. And my twin brother, Doug, I believe, was the one that was like, it was Doug. He's like, I think I'm just going to write them all out and then write dates by them, which I think are attainable timelines. So that's kind of what I did just because I got a little anxious. Looking at the bigger picture, of course, ADHD, ADD, this does this too, right? You look at a large project, you don't know where to start, you freak out, you procrastinate, you do something else. So I was like, let me just write dates in which I think these are attainable. And so I think that was really helpful for my brain organizational pattern, is to write out all the things I would hope to accomplish and then maybe and I give myself like a timeline in the sense of an expiration date. And so, like, I gave one, it was like, all the way up until from like January to like end of February was one of my goals, just because I knew with the other things that I had, even if they were small things, I didn't want to overwhelm myself. I wanted to set smart, measurable, specific, attainable goals with a timeline.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think the timeline helps.
I do too.
For sure.
You know what's funny is I wasn't like with you guys on your New Year's, which was because you guys were up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Right.
I bet that was really cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that for sure.
It was cold.
Yeah, I bet.
It really wasn't that cold. It was like 60 degrees.
Yeah.
Which really wasn't that fucking bad. Yeah, we
That's
got
not
lucky.
bad at all.
Wasn't
you
not
did get
no,
lucky.
wasn't bad at all.
It was bad.
Yeah. As far as like New Year's goals and tips and tricks, I actually did a very similar thing. I'm just going to touch base on what you guys said first, and then I'll branch into an individual tip or trick. And, as far as my New Year's goal, I did something very similar. Like I said, I basically established 3-month goals, right? So I didn't go every month, but I did 3-month goals. And I tried to establish those goals on what I believe to be a reasonable timeline. And basically, I want to try and, spend the next 3 months making sure that my finances and my household is in, like, phenomenal working order.
Yeah.
That is the top priority for me. And then from there, I'm going to lessen back my hours. I'm trying to basically start reallocating focus towards, my other passions in life, like, fighting. I want to start to reopen up there.
Yeah.
While, of course, maintaining a constant stream of, savings and income and making sure that I'm setting myself up for future success as well.
Yeah.
And then as far as, like, one little helpful tip, if you guys are at work constantly, and if you have a standing desk or the opportunity to add, in addition to your normal desk, a standing portion of it. We'll pause that, save that for later.
Oh.
So,
Always fight.
Yeah, fight. We'll update you on it, give you live play-by-play and whatnot. Now, as far as, I'm sorry, what was I talking about?
You were talking
he got
about
distracted by his fight.
the timeline.
Easy.
Treadmill.
Treadmill. There you
Yes.
go.
So
I don't know why couldn't think of that.
Yeah, standing desk. So if you have the opportunity to implement a standing desk at work, a lot of the top CEOs and a lot of the most productive and dominant players in their industries actually, this would surprise you to know, have standing desks. And it's not just that they have standing desks, but they walk at about a pace of 4 miles per hour on a walking treadmill.
Yeah, boy.
Rick, one of my clients, shout out to Rick, has recently tried this out, and he told me for the past 3 days he's been using it, and it's been one of the single most effective and mind-blowing like tools that he's used as far as his work goes, making him or giving him a clear mind, giving him the ability to focus on tasks even after having to put out fires, being able to refocus, and also being able to stay engaged in the parts of his job that normally he would get bogged down on and feel like, oh shit, I just don't want to fucking do this.
So the walk is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking pace at a desk job.
There's Steve Jobs used to do this actually. He used to bring all his employees out on a walk for a meeting or like pretty much daily to discuss shit and get them up and moving, which that's
well,
when
you got to
have the
think that when
juices
you're
flowing.
sitting, your blood flow isn't moving as freely as it would as you're standing, right? And that would mean blood oxygen to your brain as well. Mm-hmm. So why we sit while we work makes no sense. But I want to touch on two things quickly before I forget. For one, I don't know if this is something you're subconsciously doing or consciously doing, Ollie, but I think this is what I was like listening to. It's something that sometimes I think Justin and I do subconsciously as entrepreneurs and business owners that work in the sales, I wouldn't want to say sales realm, but like a commission-based like sales job, right? Is basically, learning when you can add more hours to your schedule and learning when to go back to like, okay, because let me just break this down for a lot of people. Justin and I obviously work way more than 40 hours with a lot of more than just like the hours we work with clients, with online clients, meal plans, stuff for the business, back end stuff when needed, that type of stuff. So anyways, Ollie's looking to increase his hours. So it's kind of like, this was what I'm saying, like, I pull back my hours just like as I did right before vacation, make sure you guys were full, but also to make sure that, I had everything in order on my end, because that's where I'm noticing in the past year, a new thing as a business owner, entrepreneur, is that's when things get out of hand. It's knowing when is the season of wealth and when is the season of health. Right.
Yeah.
And
balance.
that means self-care. Right. And it's balance. That doesn't mean I'm going to work, 20 hours and that's okay. But that means I might dial it back to, 40, including some of my outside of here work, obligations, so that I can, get a little bit more sanity, which I did. Yeah. And now I'm ready to fully come back and kill it, murder it. And now, it kind of makes sense, like with the Vikings, right? So, like they would, take a hiatus and they wouldn't raid all year round because obviously winter would stop them, right? But it almost like the winter gave them that rest time. Yeah. So by the time summer came, they were fully charged. And that's how I feel when I take vacations and when I slow down my hours. So not sure if that's something you're subconsciously or consciously doing, but very smart. Yeah. Second, I was thinking about what you were saying with Rick on the treadmill, and I think what people are like listening are going to have the hardest time with this year, and not only going forward, because the amount of sugar that the average American is consuming has tripled in the past 100 years.
Reese's are good, doggy.
Right. But anyway, so my thing is not just that's awesome that Rick is feeling that way, but that people are going to feel great when we show them different tools, but it's getting them to utilize those tools and not have to keep restarting. Because that's where I've seen in this industry where there are blind spots, is that, as a coach, you get excited and passionate when people are making success. But then it's hard not to get discouraged, and it's hard not to want to be like, shake someone and go, wake up, don't you see this has made your life better? And didn't you like how you were feeling before? Why do you like feeling numb? Because that's really what it is. I have noticed over and over and over again, it is people wanting to numb. So this is a sort of psychological job for us, in the sense of, you guys come in here and give us this impossible task of trying to help you lose weight. But sure, we can help you lose weight as an ER, but we're trying to help you lose weight and make this more of a lifestyle for you that will help you continue to see health benefits. It always surprises me that people would rather take the blood pressure medication than put in the hard work here, and that they'll think that they're automatically ready to recharge like the Vikings after one 12-week contract with a trainer. Most of the time, you guys don't even gather the information that we have taught you as far as workout programs, and could not even put a workout together by the end. And that's not because we're not doing our job well. It's because this is such an overwhelming experience of change, psychological change, behavioral change, and routine, that you are so scrambled up here. 12 weeks is not enough for anyone, right? Now, if you can afford to keep doing so, you absolutely should. And if that means that you should put your luxuries and your hair and your nails on the back burner so you can get everything in order so you don't have to come back to us once again, that makes the most sense. But people would rather fall off because they want to show themselves they can do it, then they show themselves they can't once again, end up wasting the money to come back when we could have helped you get all the way to the goal instead of now starting from the beginning. It's like we're at Monopoly, and we're just like right back at the start, you know? And that's the tough part about this job, everybody listening, is not that we can't get you guys motivated. It's the fact that, to me, I'm starting to think that motivation doesn't exist. There's no such thing as motivation. It's discipline. Because even when I don't want to do things, the more I just do them, no matter if it's done as perfectly as I wanted it done or with as much energy as I wanted to complete the workout with, as long as I just do it in the moments of feeling I don't want to, that's going to push me further than me saying, oh, well, it's not going to be a great workout, so I'm just not going to do it. Oh, it's only going to be a 40-minute workout, so I might as well just not even hit it if it's not an hour.
You're absolutely right. And, you know, one of the things, like, considering the fight is up right now, I'll touch base on, like, one of the biggest lessons I learned on this fight, because I had some misconceptions that, like, you know, definitely got debunked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us. What misconceptions did we have?
I had been preparing for this fight for about 2 years now.
Me too. Right next to him
yeah.
every day.
Same.
Have to see him.
Yeah.
Have to deal with him.
Oh, yeah. You guys saw
Yeah.
me, like, go
Yeah.
through 8 fight camps, right? 5 people backing out, or, like, 5. No. Yeah, I think
All
there
right,
were,
get
like,
to
5
what you learned.
backouts. All right, what I learned. So,
Play that fight. Let him watch.
Mhm.
All this preparation, all the shit he just talked for this.
So, essentially, preparing for this fight camp, I had some misconceptions. I thought I would be really scared. I thought, like, you know, like, oh my gosh, this would be such a culminating moment in my life. Like, all this hard work would come to a head, and, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'd be overwhelmed by the emotion. And when I got there, you know, it'd be like, oh my gosh, like, I fucking won. I made this impact. I made this journey. I've reached the end goal or the finish line. And at the finish line, I become a new person, because all of a sudden I realize, like, you know, all of my aspirations, all of my dreams, you know, I realize, like, oh, this is the person I need to be, and so I need to, like, hunker down, and everything, all my habits are going to change, all my, like, disciplines are going to change. I'm going to make sure that 100% I'm, like, on top of all my shit. That's what I thought would happen. All right, but at the end of the day, what actually happened was, as soon as the fight was over, I won by TKO in the second round.
Ooh. You'll see it in a few seconds.
Yep. As soon as the fight was over, I realized that, you know, you don't arrive to the destination and, you know, suddenly reach a different level as far as the person that you are. It's all the steps that you took to get to the destination that makes the person that you are.
Yeah.
So all the steps that I took in preparation, we'll pause that so that way we can do the breakdown. So all the steps that I took in preparation for this fight is what led me to become the person that won the fight. But once I won the fight, nothing changed, because I already had taken the steps of change. And so I realized that, you know, it's just a continual progress and a continual system of taking steps and making changes, and then, you know, basically reassessing, establishing where you need to go from there, and then never giving up. And that's what I think correlates to what you were saying about discipline, because that discipline was the steps that I took for the 2 years prior and got me to where I ended up, right?
Yeah.
And that's what ended up being more important in hindsight than winning the fight, or, you know.
Yeah. You wouldn't have won the fight if you didn't have discipline.
Yeah.
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 They say motivation is bullshit, right? It just gets you going. That's great and all, but it doesn't keep you going. That's where the discipline kicks in. So the discipline is the day in, day out shit that you don't want to do, and you do it anyway to make yourself better.
There's tons of shit.
And that is how you become better.
Mm-hmm.
You have to just deal with the bullshit, do what you don't want to do, and just do it.
Yeah. And there were tons of nights.
Yeah.
Tons of nights I would lay in bed for an hour, 2 hours before, dreading practice, because I knew I was going to go get my ass whooped.
Yeah.
I knew it. I was
Sounds
like, damn
terrible.
it, Kaizen tonight, I'm going to go get my ass whooped. I would lay in bed dreading practice, because I knew I would be fucking hurting the next day. I would dread hopping in the ice bath after. I would dread taking a cold shower the next morning. I would dread waking up at 4 a.m. going on runs. Like, I fucking hated all this shit.
Yeah.
But I still did it. And it made a massive difference.
And
in
that
my life
wasn't
today.
just motivation. That was discipline.
That was discipline.
Hey,
I hated that shit.
don't you think I dread when you call me on my vacation meal with 5 meal plans?
Yeah, baby. Meals on wheels,
I'm
baby.
sorry, I'm good at my job.
I got to do it.
Ollie's been
Because
killing
you
it.
guys need your meal plans.
He always
And
does,
I'm
but
on
he's been killing
vacation,
it.
so I will do it. Why? Because it's routine discipline, baby. And on that note, I got to cut out early. But these guys
Abby's
will.
got to bounce.
That's right. I got.
yeah.
Why? Because I got to check in and I got a meal plan.
We'll finish
Because
like,
I'm a motherfucking
we'll do
baller.
this fight breakdown for you guys. We got about like 10 minutes to kill.
Yep.
So you're stuck with me and Allie now. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
But we'll wrap up New Year's. New Year's was great. We have a lot of goals. Abby and I are trying to get a property soon. Possibly Airbnb it out. We'll see. We're in the making. And then other goals. Had some fitness goals and business goals in general. Try to ramp up online training a little bit more this year.
Nice.
How about you? What are your goals this year?
This year, goals. Definitely making sure that, this year is a productive and healthy and loving environment. Like this year, I provide a productive, healthy, and loving environment for my girlfriend who's moving down tonight.
Ooh,
I'm actually driving
tonight
out to Pensacola.
is the night.
After this, I'm going to go home, clean some stuff, take a nap.
Holy
and then,
shit,
yeah,
doggy.
I'm driving
That's
right
going to
to
be a
Pensacola.
long move, too.
Yeah. I'm driving to Pensacola. We're apartment ready. It's lined up.
That's
Should
dope.
be immediate move-in.
It's exciting.
Yeah. So
Already starting the new year on a good note.
exactly.
That's great. So,
3 months. Just 2 more goals.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. 3 months after that, I want to basically, number one priority, like I said, is making sure that the home and the girlfriend are taken care of.
Love it.
Number 2 responsibility is I'm trying to launch Canine Fitness.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we talked about this a little bit, I think, last year. I think we maybe brought it up on one podcast.
Yeah.
But, dude, that's dope.
Yeah.
So what are the steps in that?
As of right now, I need to pump out trials. I need to film workouts. I need to finish the curriculum as far as Canine Omega goes.
Are you still trying to do online? This is like all online based?
Yeah, all online.
Oh, she's hopping back.
I'll
Oh,
hop in for 10 more
nice.
We're
minutes.
just talking a couple goals. Ollie's talking about moving Lissy down, which we just discussed, and now Canine Fitness, which we discussed before, and he's trying to revamp and reamp and actually get it done this year. So.
Yes.
It's cool. It's awesome.
Now that I'm out of the parents' house, now that I can, take control of my schedule and make sure, I'm doing all the shit I need to do, I'm going to try and relaunch that. And then hopefully get a couple more fights in before the end of the year.
Now, what is the limit on that? Like, because like I know like UFC fighters and shit, like they can't fight every week, right? Like, how many
Luckily-
fights can you technically do like a year?
Cool thing is at the amateur level, you can take a fight
Oh my
week
god!
week after week.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's dope. So now, how do you get out of amateur level?
What's
the next step?
Win a lot, or like Jake Paul, you just be an asshole online. And
If you have money, you can be a pro.
Yeah,
Okay.
make
Jake
get
Paul,
all
you
the-
hear this? Maybe you'll see this. Probably not. But if you do, you could fight Alejandro.
Listen,
and I'll watch.
if you can attain the eyes and ears of preteens everywhere,
There you go.
that's money.
Hey, the man's smart. I can't lie about that. And I think he does have some
Yeah.
skill.
Oh, certainly.
I don't think he's a scrub.
Certainly.
I think at first I thought he was very scrubbish, but now I do believe he could whoop some ass,
Definitely.
including mine.
As far as like YouTube boxers go, he's one of the legit
I
ones.
mean, he think he's now a real boxer.
He's legit.
So he can hop in the ring with some real boxers and probably do some damage, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. He's
I mean, he's trained. He has discipline enough to train in, day out,
Yeah.
even
And
though
it's-
he's
Well, I'll
controversial.
talk about a goal that I already smashed today.
Smash
Smash
and goal,
it.
smash and goal.
So, because I am a baller at work, I'm not a baller at home.
Ball hard.
So,
ball hard.
pretty much since Justin and I moved into our house, I have not really organized a lot of my things. So today I reorganized my dresser. I had bought jewelry.
Dope.
That has a little hoarding
Jesus is
problem
real,
with
baby.
little jewelry boxes. Threw
Shout
those
out
away. Put them in the jewelry box. I dusted everything off. So that's one goal smash. So I got to do
Yeah.
a couple more dusting projects in the bedroom. And then I'll be working on my bathroom organization, which is pretty big for me, people. So again, when you don't have work-life balance in the sense of, and this doesn't mean that you're working too much at work. Please, whatever you do, employees, do not think that this means you should put less work in at work or effort. It means you should put more effort in at home when you're at home.
Oh.
Because I know all of you are just like me. When you get home, all you want to do is sit on the couch, watch the newest TV show, do this, do that. But my goal this year is to do a little bit every night. And even if that means I start the washer and I do this, I do that, I've noticed when I make some small changes, and I've already started one before that, which is now I'm not running into the bedroom right away. I'm staying out in the living room with the dogs, and that's helping me want to be in other parts of the house,
That is where
including
you
doing other
sleep.
things.
Don't
yeah.
work in bed, fuckers.
Yeah,
It'll fuck you
don't.
up.
Yes.
That's a great tip.
Fuck
That's
you
a
up.
great tip.
Yeah, it'll destroy you. You're supposed to sleep
Yeah.
there. You're supposed to rest there. So
Yeah.
you should not be working and stressing in there either.
Yeah,
Because then it
exactly.
becomes a toxic habitat, which you don't need.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, bed is for sleep and love. Sleep and love.
Yeah, that too.
That too.
Some exercise, some cardio.
Yep.
We do have to wrap it up. We have about 5 minutes, so
Fight breakdown.
we can fight breakdown. One more thing about the goals, guys, before we get off of this goals, New Year's shit. Your goals don't always have to be serious. Like, they can be fun-based, too, I said to her family. Like, they don't have to be all business-oriented. Like, plan a vacation in that goal. Or plan, like, even just, like, a small little getaway can be a goal. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, a serious, I need to make $1 million this year. Like, make sure you're making time for your fun, too.
Yeah.
Shoot some guns.
Live life.
Smoke a little weed. Take a little trippy.
Do
you
it
know what
all
I'm saying?
together.
You can do anything you want. It's America.
You can fly.
But it's
That's
not.
right.
It doesn't always have to be serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what was really big for me going to this cabin? I thought I liked peace and stuff, and I do, right? But, like, when you're really forced to sit with the stillness, like, that was nuts.
Yeah.
I was almost going a little bonkers.
So the phones were barely working, which is part
yeah.
of that.
I wasn't getting any.
And-
I like as soon as I realized I was cut off from Ollie and Phil, and I could not get any messages from them. I could not really.
She had a quick
I was
mental
like
breakdown.
slightly anxious. I was like,
I
we
was
need to get to Walgreens now.
Pretty happy. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Love that.
I felt good to not have like. I was connected to my drone and all my other electronics that don't have connection to anybody else. But I was in my element out there. Made a fire in the morning. Fucking no one around. You could do whatever you want. It's pretty cool.
Woke up
that's like-
Justin at midnight to make a fire
Yeah.
at midnight.
That's our goal, is to get a property that's secluded so we can go and do this shit like without renting someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
It's our own.
That's awesome.
And then you guys can use it too.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
we can all go
that's
out there and
where
hang
it's
out. That's the goal.
New bonding
That will be, I got that like midway through this year. We should be able to obtain it and at least get it going.
Fuck yeah.
So we can go there and just fuck around and shoot some guns or something. That's fucking dope.
Bring the
baby.
doggos. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying?
doggos,
Saying?
Boy, that's, we can shoot your
Run a
videos
little.
there,
Yeah, I was gonna
bro.
say run a little dog
Canine
training
Ranch,
vid.
boy.
That's right, Canine
But,
Ranch, doggy.
that is definitely on the goal list for this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that wraps up the goals. We'll do the fight breakdown real quick for you guys,
Yeah.
and then we'll get you the fuck out of here.
A little bit of fun.
All right.
Shot the other day.
This is the one that I took. If you want to break it down on this one, I don't know where
Let's
your
do it.
video is.
No, let's do
Doesn't
this.
matter. We'll do
Yeah.
this one. All right. So this is Ali whooping ass, and I talked shit the entire time he walked out. Unfortunately, I'm a bad sport.
A little bit.
But yeah, his opponent was. I'll give it to him. He got in the ring.
I kicked him in the face just there. You didn't see it. It was behind the pole.
So all right. So
Number one, this guy definitely didn't do enough cardio.
No.
He
no.
was
Nah, I
gassed
don't
like
think he was
really
ready.
quickly.
Listen, guys, cardio was way off. I give him freaking props for the amount of heart that he had. Counted the punches up by the end of the fight. It was 77-7. I landed 77 strikes on him. He landed 7 on me.
Nice.
4 of which were glancing. And unfortunately, he only trained 3 months for this fight.
Yeah.
He trained 3 months
and
for
you
this
had
fight.
2 to 3 years of training,
I
which
had
is great.
2 years of training in combination, and 2 years of intense training. Before that, it was 3 years of relatively mediocre training. So 5 years of mixed martial arts experience against his 3 months.
Now,
So-
what do you think was the hardest part about this fight? Because this was your first fight.
Yep,
Now, what do you think?
it was easy.
Okay, so it
To be
was
honest.
easy. Now,
The hardest part was the prep.
the prep.
This was easy.
Okay.
Yeah, getting in
It
the ring
sounded
fight
like a
was
lot of it was for him was like just mental and if you're not if you're like a person that likes control, which I
Ooh,
feel like
that
Ali
leg kick
does,
was
that
brutal.
unknown is very hard for someone who likes control.
That's where he gets mad. He
Yeah.
hit him right there.
Oh yeah.
He gets I think it's in the second round. He gets
Second round.
Ali gets mad,
Oh yeah.
and you'll see him just go off.
Well, unfortunately, as far as like training goes and preparation, I'd say it was difficult mentally. I've got a pretty good grip on my mental, and there was a really beautiful moment in which I did accept death beforehand. And the purpose of this first fight was to get to the point where I could accept death.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought accepting death would be cold, callous, unfeeling. I thought, it would be like entering into the mindset of like a murderer, like
Yeah.
just a killing machine. And what I realized was it was actually a lot warmer and a lot brighter than I had initially thought. So that was a misdeed fail. But as far as, actually accepting death, I prayed to God. I told him thank you for all that he had given me. And if I lived or if I died that night, everything was a blessing. And
Oh.
when I did that, it was beautiful. I felt like the world had been lifted off my shoulders. I had light in my soul, and it was.
Was that like right before you walked out?
Yeah, it was warmth. Right before I
Yeah,
walked
I've
out.
seen
I
you
felt-
doing that.
I felt
He had that thing on his head, whatever you call that thing. What is
Yeah.
that thing?
the monko.
Yeah, the monko.
Yeah.
He had it on his head. He's sitting there
Well,
praying.
I
He's
think
sweating.
that's really important,
cool.
and I think that you can reach this with or without fighting this moment you're talking about. And I
Right
think
there. This is where he gets mad. Yeah.
There
Bang,
you go.
boom,
Yeah,
bang,
just
boom.
Like, you don't touch me. You don't touch me. This is me fucking with you, and you're just gonna hit me every once in a while. And if you do hit me, I'm gonna make you pay.
So also, advice for any fighters. Do you have any advice? Like, so I know you came off of this fight with a couple injuries, and you won, right?
Yeah.
So what's your advice on, say you lost the fight and you were injured.
Oh, here
How
comes
do you
the-
think
here
you
comes
would
the knockout.
feel, and how do you think you would come back from that? Because you're coming off a win with an injury, which
Yeah.
is probably a lot easier to do than a loss.
If I lost and I was injured, it would be very difficult to come back.
Yeah.
It would be a matter of taking the proper 3, 2.
Oh, that's where they called it.
That was the knockout.
And
They
there's me
called
talking more shit.
it. Yeah.
there's me starting the chant,
we
Ollie.
we started a
Yeah.
chant. He gave
There I
credit to
am.
his whole team,
Oh,
everybody but us.
That's right.
But it was us.
Little
We
did he
started the
know,
chant,
it was
really.
me going,
It was Abby.
Ollie, Ollie.
And Derek.
That's right. Derek joined in.
Yeah,
Torres
there
joined
it
in.
is. The winning kiss.
Yeah.
Woo! It was dope.
It was good.
Super cool.
Good fight.
Super fun experience. I'm glad that we got to see you whoop that ass.
Listen, here's my
Finally.
thing. Let's end it on this. I do believe that whether or not we all sign contracts at one point in time, subconsciously or not, we are all, meant to be on this earth for a purpose. And when you find that purpose, that's when you are able to accept, hey, I've told him plenty of times, if I get cancer tomorrow, I'm excited and, happy and grateful that I got to spend this much time with you. And that I've been blessed to meet the people I did, because I know there's people I love up there and there's people I love here. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And that acceptance was like, for me, it felt like incredible love. Like it just felt like love and warmth.
Love it.
Yeah.
No,
Love
that's
it.
cool, man. Check out our social medias. It's going to be wrapping it up today. I'm going to throw them down in the corner. This is our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Check them out. We're going to be doing this weekly again, guys. We're trying to shoot for Fridays at 3 p.m.
3 p.m., 30-minuters.
Yeah, about 30, 45 minutes.
Fitness,
Depends.
hustle related, dog.
But yeah,
You.
the Abstinence
You.
Experience. We changed the fucking name, baby.
That's
Fuck
right.
you. We'll see you next week.
2023, baby.
Love you.